We begin the current Daf Mesechta Bava Metzia Daf Koftes Vav. We begin 19 lines down at the top of the Yomid, where we continue with halacha, the next Mishnah, continuing this theme that we're discussing in the previous Mishnah is of mashkin, of a security that's taken in regards to a loan. The entire world. So I'm discussing today's Daf R Shloimy Schwartzberg. Someone takes security from a widow. Is it every widow? Is it only a poor widow? This machlekes of Dirshin and time of the Krah. Do we expound the rationale of a pasuk and therefore thus qualify halachas based on the rationale or not? Someone takes security of the two different parts of a mill. Are they what does one violate when he takes these different parts of the mill? Just in general, anything that makes food that the pasuk includes is a violation. The machlekes of lav shebachlalis. Do you get it? If you have a specific lav that you're over, do you also get a violation of a generic lav that encompasses many different lavs? And shnei kelim sha'isim malacha achas, when you have two vessels that do one work, how do you qualify that claim? So we begin the current daf, begin the Mishnah, almana, a widow, ben she aniyah, ben she, whether she's poor or she's wealthy, imam ashkenaisa. You cannot take collateral from her. It's a pasuk in the Torah in Devarim. You're not allowed to take collateral of the garment of a widow. Now the Brisa explains, Tanabon in the Brisa, Amana, a widow, ben she'aniya, ben she'ashi, whether she's poor or wealthy, im mashkenaisa, you're not allowed to take collateral, as a shtait pusik, the Rabbi Yehuda. Shimon says, no, a shita mashkenaisa, a wealthy woman, you could take that diamond necklace, you could take the collateral from her, aniya im mashkenaisa, the poor woman, you cannot take security. You know why? Because by the poor woman, you're going to take her pots and pans. You're going to have to give it back to her because she's poor. But the Messiah, you're going to give her a bad name in the neighborhood because you're going to be coming and going morning and night with this widow who has no husband anymore, and you're coming and going, so you can give her a bad name. So therefore, that's who you cannot take. But a wealthy woman doesn't need it, so then you're allowed to take actually collateral. So the Gemara wonders, remember this to say that Rabbi Yehuda, it sounds like, loy darsh time of the Krah, that he does not darshan the rationale of the pasuk. He says, shtaiten mitunish, you don't. Doesn't make a difference. Rabbi Shimon, it sounds like, is darsh time of the Krah. He's expounding that, oh, wait a second, I know the Torah doesn't differentiate, but mistama, this is what it means. And he's expounding halacha based on that. But we actually show they hold the exact opposite the time like learn the Brisa. The pasuk says in Devarim that it talks about a king, that he should not increase the amount of wives that he has, so that says they shouldn't turn his heart astray. Too many wives, too many cooks in the kitchen, that they're going to make him go off. Now, some Gesaros have the words Ilish Meine Esrei. He's only allowed to have 18 wives. It's not more than that. That's a Tanakh Kama. No, that's what the pasuk says. Now, there's a machlekes exactly how to translate this. Rabbi Yehuda Amar, he says that Marbahu, he could have more wives, as long as they don't turn his heart astray. So when the pasuk says he's expounding his darshni time of the Krah that you could have more. He's qualifying the halacha. It's just it has the rationale. Shimon Aimei says no, afil achas, no, even one wife, if she would turn his heart astray, I originally said he wouldn't be able to marry even one. So what does it mean he shouldn't add on to 18? It means afil kabigail, even a very righteous woman. So as some Gesaros actually have the girsa, as some Gemaras bring on the side, that Alma, so you see Rabbi Yehuda is darsh time the Krah. He's saying, he's giving you allowed to have more than 18. The pasuk has reasons, and if you'll have more than 18, won't turn your heart astray, you're allowed to. Rabbi Shimon loy darsh time the Krah. He's not darsh. He's like shtaiten Torah 18. That's it. Can't have more. But that contradicts exactly what we just said in our Mishnah. So the Gemara says, no, actually, hainu hach. La'olam, the truth is, Rabbi Yehuda loy darsh time of the Krah. He generally does not qualify and give pshatim like in our Mishnah. In our Mishnah, he says, shtaiten Torah, you're not allowed to take collateral from a widow. Don't tell me pshatim and pshat lechwa. You're not allowed to. We don't expound reasonings. Now, b'shani hacha, here by the melech, by the king, is different because the mefarish Krah, the pasuk tells you the reason. It says v'lo yerbelei nashim, that you should not increase wives. V'lo yaser. It's saying my time v'lo yerbelei nashim. Why should you not have more wives? Mishum v'lo yaser, so it shouldn't turn your heart astray. Now, it sounds like that if it's not going to turn your heart astray, then you would be allowed to have more than 18. Whereas Reb Shimon, Mechti Letzi, Ba'al Madashin Tam Lekra, in general, he expounds the reasoning of the pasuk. Meaning, even when it doesn't say a reason, like in our Mishnah, by the halacha of taking collateral from a widow, he says, yeah, it's only by the poor one, because you're going to give her a bad name. But by wealthy, it's not a problem. So if that's the case, as normally he learns the Torah, you're supposed to expound the reasoning. But the Torah by the king should have just said, don't have more wives. But I wouldn't have to say a reason, because I would know, because I always darshan my time lo yarba. Why would you not increase? Mishum de that it shouldn't turn his heart astray. So lo yaser, he said, then why did the Torah actually tell you lo yaser? There's no point in saying lo yaser. I know why lo yaser. Oh, it's going to teach you. No, achas or sabasiras liboy. That even one that goes and causes your heart to turn astray, even that one you shouldn't marry. But it's not being marked about Taisif. And that's why here in this case he holds, no, you can't have even Abigail more than 18. But it doesn't contradict. It actually works hand in hand with their general opinions. Now look at the next Mishnah again, continue on the halacha of a mashkin. If someone takes collateral, a mill, so even Mishum Leisa say he violates a negative prohibition, and he's going to be liable for two separate vessels. Shlomo says in the pasuk, it says the pasuk in the Devarim, lo yachbol richayim v'rechav. A person should not take a collateral of richayim and rechav. Now, the upper part is called the rechav, like riding, and the lower part is called richayim, the mill. So there's two different parts of this, which would give you two different lavin for the mill. Now, the truth is, it's not only just regarding millstones that we said this halacha. Anything that's used to make food is included, like it says in the pasuk, because he's taking his soul, but that's where the term eichel nefesh comes from, which is making food that keeps you alive. The halacha is anything that's related to the nefesh, any eichel nefesh type of tool, utensil that's used for food preparation would be included in this isser of taking as collateral. Now the Gemara has a machlekes. Amar Rav Huna. Huna says, Chavar Richaim. Let's say a guy takes the Richaim, which is the bottom stone, as collateral. So Lakish time he's going to get two sets of lashes. One Mishum Richaim, one's because the Torah says explicitly not to take the bottom stone, and the Mishum Ki Nefesh U'Chayvel, which that is saying any Eichel Nefesh, which includes the Richaim. And some Gesaras, like the Rosh Hashbring inside of the Gemara says, and Rechev, if you take the upper stone, also like Ishtaim. Mishum Rechev for the Rechev, Mishum Kinefesh U'Chayvel. Now, Rechaim Rechev, if you take the two stones, then like Yishol, you get three sets of lashes. Mishum Rechaim, the Rechev, or Mishum Kinefesh U'Chayvel. Now, Rabbi Yehuda he disagrees. I hear. Yeah, if he wants to, I don't know, does the Torah tell you that you're not allowed to at all? Here, it sounds like that you're not allowed to take it. You want to know if he says, I want you to take it? Yeah, you have to know.
Earlier we had the Gemara that said if the bank uses it when you lend it, you don't have to give it back.
Right. That's at the time of the loan. Right. Well, here we're talking about when it's not. Right. Right. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So that's one opinion. But Yehuda says no. Chevel Richaim. If you take the bottom millstone as a collateral, look at achas. You only get one set of lashes. V'rachav, if you take the top one, like achas, you also only get for the rachav one set of lashes. Richaim v'rachav, you take both stones. Like Yerushalayim, you get two sets of lashes because ki nefesh u'chayvel, that pasuk, as you get into in Beis, l'shar dvarmu the asa. That's only coming to other things. I mean, it's not coming to add on a lav on Rechaim B'Rachav. Because Rechaim B'Rachav, it says in the first part of the pasuk, Ki nefesh is needed to include other kelim of Eichel nefesh. So it's not going on the Rechaim and the Rachav. Says Gemara, lema Abai B'Rava. Let's say Abai B'Rava, but plucked Rav Huna and Rabbi Yehuda come in. This machlekes Rav Huna and Rabbi Yehuda that we're bringing, is the same machlekes we have on Abai and Rava. What's this machlekes? I'm a Rava. This is brought in Masechet Pesachim and Daf Memalef. Rava says, Achal no. If you eat a carbon Pesach that partially roasted. So we know it's supposed to be fully roasted. If you eat partially roasted, it says Likashtem, you get 2 sets of lashes. Why? Because the Torah tells you that al toichlu menana, so Torah says explicitly not to eat it partially roasted. And the Mishum Yosef by Lakim Tzliesh. That same pasuk, a few words later, says it could only be fully roasted on the fire. Yeah, but is ki'im? Yeah, if al toichlu is going on both. Al toichlu is saying don't eat it na, don't eat it basham bushel b'mayim. It says al toichlu. Al toichlu menana bushel b'mayim ki'im sliesh. So yeah, you have to know if that's a asay or that's a lois asay. Al kaponim. So you get 2 sets of lashes. Shamna misham ki'im sliesh. A mavushel, if he eats it cooked, same thing. Loiker time, you get 2 sets of lashes. Misham mavushel for cooking, misham ki'im sliesh, also because you could not eat it, but when it's roasted. So that's like a negative prohibition. No mavushel, partially roasted and cooked, like a shalish. You get 3 sets of lashes. Misham no, from partially roasted, misham mavushel, because cooked, misham loiseichlu. Like you see the way the Gemara even quotes it, like, and don't eat it but roasted. If you don't eat it but roasted, so that's violating that negative prohibition. That's how Rava says. Abayama says, no, ain't like in the lav shabachlos. You don't get lashes for a generic umbrella negative prohibition for loisechlen nekim tzliesh, because that includes na mavushal, and you don't get lashes but on only na mavushal, which are explicit. Says the Gemara, isn't this the same machlekes? Leim abaya damak Rabbi Yehuda. That where you violate the klal and on the prat, and both of them are one lav, you don't get lashes for the klal, which is what Rabbi Yehuda said. In our context, you don't get the ki'im, you don't get the pasuk of nefesh. Whereas Rabbi Rabbi Yehuda, Rabbi is like Rabbi Yehuda says, no, you're gonna get the lashes for all 3 of them. Amalcha Rabbi, no, each one can tell you that not necessarily the case. A Rabbi would tell you, I know the Amr like Rabbi Yehuda. I could even be like Rabbi Yehuda. Ad kind of like Rabbi Yehuda Hasan. Where do we have Rabbi Yehuda over there? Meaning in our sugya that ki nefesh is not effective to add on more negative prohibitions for the guy who took the collateral of the rechaim and the rachev. Is el de chi nefesh hu chayvel. The reason I'll tell you why is because this pasuk of nefesh hu chayvel, which adds on other things. If you didn't say this, loy mashma, you wouldn't know it from rechaim v'rachev, because I would have thought to say it's specifically only those 2 things that you're violating. This pasuk of nefesh ki chayvel is specifically for other things, and not to say it's going on what we already said explicitly. What's the negative prohibition to add on more lavin? But over here, if this kim sliesh was not coming to add on more lavin on no mavushal, so kim sliesh l'mayasa. What do I need to teach you from this? But it should only be eaten roasted. As Rashi says, there's nothing that's not included in no mavushal besides for roasted to tell me that you're coming to warn for a negative prohibition. And if it's coming to teach you the mitzvah of that it should be roasted, says Rashi, no, there's another pasuk of tzliyah shematzis. So obviously Shema min love, obviously is coming to teach me more negative prohibitions, and then we're going to get 3 sets of lashes. But Vabaya Amalacha Abai would tell you, no, I could even be like Rav Huna. Ad kan like Rav Huna. Where do we find Rav Huna? But that says that this kim tzliyah is adding on, meaning Rav Huna, that he says, but that nefesh hu chayvel, that is coming to teach you more negative prohibitions. El dechi nefesh hu chayvel, because that is getting of the Zayin and Aleph. You say ruhu. That's extra to teach you another negative prohibition, meaning because at least of other things. Because keeping the Yiseilu, since it's extra for a negative prohibition, and you're adding it unspecifically, so Shadi, so you apply it also to Chaim Baruchav, because Chaim and Baruchav not excluded from Kinefesh Uchayvel, so by default they're also going to be included. But over here, Kim Tzliyah, when it says only roasted, Lav Yiseilu, it's not extra at all. It's not going to teach you a prohibition to add on more negative prohibitions. Rather than like at the time you need it, like we learned in a brisa. So therefore, na amavushal, you can't tell me that it's not coming to tell me. It's just coming to qualify to tell me that this isra of na amavushal is only at daytime, not at nighttime. So it's not coming to add on any more negative prohibitions, as the brisa says. At a time when you have the positive commandment of eating the Korban Pesach roasted, Yeshnim about teichel na. That's when you have the negative prohibition of eating it partially roasted. Shosh and become achatzli at a time when you don't have the mitzvah of eating it roasted. Einim about teichel na, then you don't have the prohibition about eating it partially roasted. So that's coming to tell you that you're not going to violate namavush bayayim only by laila. So again, so it's not even extra at all. So it's not even teaching negative prohibition. So therefore, you're right. Although there's nothing else to apply it to, but it's not applying any negative prohibition. It's just a qualifier, and therefore that's why each one could say, I'm not necessarily like the other one's opinion regarding to this halacha. The Tani Gavasi the Rabbi Yehuda. Now the Gemara says, okay, let's bring a raya like Rabbi Yehuda that you don't get lashes for a richayim on. Actually, we'll leave it over here. Thank you, because this is going to take us to the rest of